Welcome to another NEBA Spotlight. Today, I'm very happy to present to you Elizabeth. Elizabeth, tell us about you. Tell us about your business.
Hello, thank you so much. So my name is Elizabeth Soto Baez. I'm an empowerment coach, a trauma-informed breathwork facilitator, and today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about my company, Launch Your Life Coaching, how I got here and how I can help you. So in 2019, I went through a huge transition. I asked for a divorce after a long marriage, and in that space, I felt really lost. I was exhausted perpetually. I didn't know what it was like to have energy, really lonely, unfulfilled. I felt very stuck. I couldn't breathe. And so I made this really traumatic decision, which was both a relief and quite terrifying. And despite understanding and realizing that I really needed to make this shift, I was in the space of what now? What do I do now? What's going to happen now? And in this what now space, I had a lot of people reaching out to me. How did you do it? Are you scared? How are you going to make this happen? Should I do it? What's the next thing to do? Like, I feel afraid. And while I was in that space, I realized two things. First thing I realized was I can use this to be supportive to people. I can take what is happening in my life and be an encouragement to other people. But the other thing I learned was that in this space, I wasn't alone. I thought that I was, but what I realized is that one of the biggest fears that humans have, something that we tell ourselves, no matter who you are, where you are, what your age is, what you've done in life, is that no one gets it. No one understands how I feel. No one has been in the space with me. And so as I was unpacking what was happening in my life, I realized actually I'm not alone. And actually, I can make changes. And so in my containers, what we do is we talk about transforming now. Not when your kids get older, not when you're suddenly out of debt or you have that new job or things settle down, which is laughable. I was in a container with someone. We did a breathwork session. She's been going through the ringer on all kinds of things in her life. We did the breathwork, first session ever. She says, that was absolutely incredible. I feel amazing. And I talked to her and I said, hey, that's amazing. Let's talk about like how we can incorporate this in your life. How can we make this happen? And she's like, well, I think I need to wait till things settle down. And we kind of chuckled together. And I said, this tool is what you need to help things settle down. Waiting till things change in the midst of turmoil and transition is exhausting. And so we're always kind of living in this when then space, and we feel like we never change. We feel like we never transform. So, what does Launch Your Life coaching offer you? Well, it offers you the opportunity to face your fear and overcome. It allows you a space to address those limiting beliefs that feel overwhelming. In my containers, I do mindset coaching because we have to change our neural pathways. We have to change how we think about things, but we also have to look at our bodies. We need to do the somatic coaching piece because we often know what we need to do and don't do it. And then we come back and say, I know the right things. I'm just not making myself do it. How do I make myself do it? Well, that's where the somatic piece comes in. In this container, you're going to feel seen. You're going to feel heard. You're going to feel like you belong. You're going to expand your view of what is actually available to you in real life. Because sometimes we can't see with our eyes what is actually available to us. And in my containers, we get to do that together. So what will you see after doing the work in these containers with me? Well, you're going to be really good at boundaries. You're going to understand where you need boundaries and you're going to understand how to keep them in place. You're going to understand what it means to walk away from people pleasing, and you're going to understand what it means to not worry about what people think of you. You're going to experience radical self-acceptance, which is a huge challenge for a lot of the people that I work with. What does it even mean to be accepting of self anyway? I don't get it. You're going to be able to recognize what a beautiful person you are in your parenting relationship, in your friend relationships, in a romantic partnerships. You're going to be able to take what happens in your life and use it as a stepping stone instead of seeing it as a roadblock. Anxiety is going to be down. You're going to have so many tools because life is lifing, because things are going to happen, because we have seasons where we are at peace and things seem to be going really well. And then you hit a dip and things feel hard and overwhelming. And you suddenly forget what you know, how you did it the first time. Wait, I've been through this situation before. How do I get out of this space? You will walk away with tools that are accessible and useful no matter what stage of life, no matter what the dip is for you. I wanted to share with you my client.
When I first started, it was a 6-week trial, and I didn't think anything would happen. I was in therapy after a really tough divorce. I had been in therapy for like a year. I didn't feel like I was making a lot of gains. I was making holes emotionally, and I needed something to supplement to get me out of this hole that I had dug for myself. And Liz, in 6 weeks, gave me so many tools to use in my everyday life that changed how I live 6 weeks. And I left that 6 weeks being like, you cannot leave me. I must now have you all the time. So I've done 2 6-month sessions with her since then. And every time my life is completely different afterwards. And I uproot other limiting beliefs and I find other things that are holding me back. And I wrestle with stories that I tell myself, and I come out of it more confident, more loving of myself, more patient with my kids. There's so many pieces of me that are healing because I'm going through this. She's helping me.
So good. So how can you work with me? That was my client, Leslie. She is a gem. I love her. And she really has transformed and shed year after year that we've been together. The shedding is unreal. So what does it look like to work with me? What does it look like to be in a container with me? Well, I have a 6-month container. It's called Breathe for Life, because you have to breathe to be alive, right? It is a 6-month weekly hour session with me. And I come in wherever you are in this stage of life, whatever transition you're in, whatever feels hard, we link arms in that space together and we move forward with every single session curated for you. Because we each have different strengths, we each have different needs, we each have different limiting beliefs. And it matters to me to meet you in that space so we can move forward together. I have a brand new program opening called the Empowered Women's Collective. This is for high-level professional women. It's opening in the summer. The Infinite Mill, where accomplished women renew their spirit. This is a place where women who are very accomplished, who on the outside look like highly successful, made it happen, who on the inside are still struggling with imposter syndrome and struggling with conditioning, struggling with being good moms, struggling with how to still do all the things that moms and home women, quote, do while also being this high level successful professional. So this is a safe container for women to kind of shed the imposter syndrome and really feel renewed and connected. And then I also offer breathwork intensive. So 6 60-minute breathwork sessions. In those particular sessions, you and I are working together using breathwork as our primary modality to help work through trauma, to help work through emotional stagnation, to help work through anxiety, to help work through physical pain as well. It really is what you need in that container, with breathwork being our primary tool. When we heal ourselves, we heal the world. This is a big part of my work. We each create a ripple wherever you are, whatever you're doing, however old you are, whatever your status is in whatever place. When you heal and transform and change and work on you, you automatically are doing that for the people in your circle, whether that's your deep, intimate circle, whether that's your professional circle, whether it's this circle in NEBA, you are making a difference. And so this work that I do is to continue to create the ripples for you, in you, with you. So thank you so much for listening, for hanging out with me today. If you're interested in what does it look like to work with Liz, what is a breathwork session really? What is this Breathe for Life 6-month container and how can it impact me? You can scan this QR code and set up an empowerment call, which is a free opportunity to get some coaching and discovery together. You can also email me at elizabeth@launchyourlifecoaching.com. I am on Instagram and LinkedIn as Elizabeth Soto Baez. Thank you.
Great job, Elizabeth. What an amazing presentation. I love what you're doing for the world. Check out Elizabeth for more information, and we look forward to supporting you. Thank you.